Welcome, digital authors. It's week 3 in digital authorship, and this week we're tackling a really important and interesting topic, identity in a digital age. The focus question we have this week is: how is personal, social, and political identity embodied in the practice of digital authorship? So, first up, we're going to be meeting Mary Calancis and Bill Cope, two Australian literacy educators who use a concept called life world diversity, which is a really interesting take on thinking about identity within the context of literacy and meaning making. Then, of course, this week we're going to read about vlogs and screencasts. Vlogs are the quintessential identity project. And as we think about vlogs and screencasts, we're going to be thinking about how identity factors in to the practice of making media. As you read this chapter, be sure that you can understand these concepts, like ethos, the persuasive technique that relies on the character, appeal, and credibility of the speaker. Then what I'd like you to do is choose one of the 3 videos that are described in chapter 11 and watch the video and then make a comment in the YouTube comment thread. So that's a public comment. Can you reflect on the video in a way that builds upon, problematizes, contextualizes, or deepens the ideas developed? Give it a try. Okay, so then what comes up next, I think, is identities in context. In this section of the week, what I'd like you to do is choose one or more of the following scholarly articles to read carefully. I always suggest that if you're a PhD student, you should read everything, but the rest of you can choose one or more. Perhaps you'll choose this really interesting article called "I Wish Color Had No History, an exploration of identity through student performance poetry." We're going to be reading these scholarly articles this week in a collaborative way using the tool Kami for Chrome. So to use Kami for Chrome, you sign on using your Google account, and that allows you to access the article. And so as I scroll down here, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here so you can see. As you access the article, we'll be able to comment on it. Let me just move my cursor over here a little bit. So it's really fun and cool to annotate collaboratively. And in this case, my suggestion was simply to highlight and paraphrase and ask questions, right? So demonstrate the technique of highlighting. That's pretty easy. I can highlight the text. She is discovering that students found some internal and external struggles as they explored identity through creating performance poetry, right? I can comment by making a note here, comment here to paraphrase, connect to my life experience as a reader, and ask questions. Woohoo! So make at least 3 annotations, and if you like, please respond to the annotations of another. So the 3 articles all address issues of identity in digital storytelling is the second article, right? And the third article is a video production in elementary teacher education featuring our very own Diane Watt from the University of Ottawa. right? A veteran member of the Summer Institute community who's just published her wonderful work here about helping pre-service teachers make videos as part of their practice. So feel free to choose the article that most interests you or read more than one. That's cool. The third thing I'd like you to do, of course, this week is to play and imagine. It is time to experiment with some screencasting tools. You can see I'm using Screencast-O-Matic, but when you experiment, take the time to experiment and then comment on what you discovered. This is a great way for us to share knowledge about the nuances of screencast tools. And because we're brainstorming for Leap 1 and for the final project, let's practice using the Disney method of brainstorming. Go back to Create to Learn in Chapter 6. Take a look at the stages of the Disney brainstorming process, and then pick a large or small problem and look at it from 4 points of view. From the point of view of the spectator, the dreamer, the realist, and the critic. Make your own contribution and respond to that of another person. I think this week is, and of course, remember, don't forget that our Leap 1 is coming up due March 7th. Have fun learning this week, digital authors, and I'll see you next week.